This movie is more on named ranges. We're going to talk about the scope of named ranges being either the worksheet level or the workbook level. We're going to create named ranges from selection in two different dimensions. We're going to apply newly named ranges to existing formulas. We can use the F3 key to paste a list of named ranges in our worksheet, and the F5 key will give us a dialog box that lists the named ranges that we can use as a navigation tool. So we're going to talk about the scope of named ranges. I've got 100 as a value in cell A1 on sheet 1, control page down, and 200 as a value in cell A1 on sheet 2, control page up to go back to sheet 1. I'm going to set up a named range that has workbook level scope by using the name manager on the formula tab, left clicking new, and I'm going to call it my range. The scope is workbook. My comment is also workbook. Refers to sheet 1A1 is exactly what I want. I'm going to close that. And so when I put equals my range in cell B3, control enter, I get 100. I'm now going to go to sheet 2, control page down, and put equals my range in cell B3, just like on sheet 1, control enter, and of course I get the value of 100. But now I'm going to set up a worksheet level scope and call it the same thing, my range. It's on sheet 2. I'll put my comment in there, sheet 2, and refers to sheet 2. Cell B3 is not correct. What I want is A1. Now I can select OK and watch what happens in cell B3. It updates for the value that's on the worksheet level scope, which is the contents of what's in A1 on sheet 2, which is 200. Going back to sheet 1, control page up, since there is no worksheet level scope defined on sheet 1, my range on sheet 1 equals the value that's for the workbook scope range, control page down to sheet 2, and my range on sheet 2 equals the value that's been established at the worksheet level for sheet 2. Not only that, control page up, back to page 1, equal my, and IntelliSense gives me the option to complete this entry with the workbook scope my range. I'm going to escape out of that, control page down, down arrow twice, equal my. On the worksheet that has a sheet level scope defined, I have either one of them that I can choose from. I can tab to get the workbook level, down arrow, tab, and I can also get the worksheet level. Generally, it's not a good idea to establish name ranges with a worksheet level scope. But if you do, it's the worksheet level that will take precedence if you don't define either the workbook level scope or the worksheet level scope. But on the sheet, you have the option to use either. When you're in the rest of the workbook, you only have the option to use the workbook level scope name ranges. So we saw in a prior movie how we could create from selection several named ranges simultaneously. Well, we can also do it in two different dimensions. In fact, we could do it in 3 or 4 different dimensions, but the practical value of that is lost on me. So we're going to select 2 different dimensions, and we're going to set up some named ranges by left-clicking Formulas, Create from Selection, and we want to create the named ranges referencing the top row and the left columns. So we'll end up with 8 named ranges. Left-clicking OK, going back to the Name Manager, and there's our named ranges. Escape, and we can use those named ranges in formulas, of course, so we can sum any one of the quarters, Q1, we could make it Q2, and so on. And we can also get a total of any one of the regions. So East has a total of, I'm going to use some functionality, auto sum, 635, and Q2 has a total of 612, which matches our named ranges. I've got a formula in cell D3, left-clicking F2. It's a simple formula. It's cell B3 plus cell C3. So when you have a formula that references either cells or regions in your workbook, and you convert one of those references to a named range, left-clicking OK, the reference in your formula will not convert automatically. If you want to apply those new names in your formulas, you can do that by left-clicking Define Name and left-clicking Apply Names. Here you'll get a list of the named ranges that have not yet been applied to formulas. I can acknowledge this, and my newly named range gets applied in my formula. For this next one, we can use the F3 key, the function 3 key, to get a list of name ranges and paste that list into our worksheet. I'm going to left-click and select cell C4, press F3, and I get a list of my named ranges. I can left-click Paste List, and there they are. We also can use the F5 key to pull up the Go To dialog box, and it lists for us the list of named ranges that are other than formulas or constants. These are named ranges that have a geographical location reference that we can quickly jump to, F5. Now they're all on the same worksheet, but if they were throughout our workbook, this would be a quick way to navigate to a different area in our workbook. So we talked about the scope of named ranges being either worksheet or workbook level scope, and there's some particulars you need to be aware of when you're defining worksheet level scope named ranges. We also use the Create from Selection functionality to create with one click name ranges in two different dimensions. We use the Apply Names functionality to apply newly named ranges to existing formulas that referenced that cell or region. We use the function 3 key, F3 key, to paste a list of our named ranges in our worksheet. And we use the F5 key to display the Go To dialog box that had a list of our name ranges that were either a cell or a region, so that we can click on that name range and go to that geographical area in our workbook.